Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider of the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Bryville alongside Melissa McFerrin. Coach, all the fall practice and everything now just about wrapped up. You're ready to get some exhibition games under your belt.
We are. We've got our final practice today before we put on real uniforms tomorrow. I think the kids are excited.
Yeah.
I think it's time that we need to take the next step and play against somebody else. So I'm hoping that our system shows. As you know, we've got a lot of new players. But I think when you sit in the stands, you're going to like what you see.
This year, with a lot of turnover, a lot of new players, that great recruiting class coming in. I know in years past, because in college you can kind of anticipate when it'll be a big turnover year. That's when you've been able to play one of the foreign tours, get the extra games. We're not able to do that this year. You're not in that window. So how has it been meshing this team together so far? Well,
fortunately, we've had most of them this summer. The one player that we didn't have all summer was Dulcie, and of course she's going to play, I think, a pretty pivotal role on our team. Fitting that many new people together is difficult, but the one thing we do have is we've got 3 returning starters in Jazz Herndon, Jamira Schutz, and Elena Davis. So they're still going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. I'm not anointing them starters. I'm not anointing them not. I'm just saying they'll continue to do heavy lifting for our team. But the thing that we've been really pleased about is that we've got some other players that are also showing they can do some heavy lifting.
How are they taking to the system? Because your system sometimes offensively pretty intricate, so I'm sure it's a building process more so this year.
We have a lot in right now, but we've done more tweaking rather than a bunch of new stuff. So we've got probably 4 series of offense in that we've got, I think, a pretty good handle on. I'm not going to say we're going to execute it perfectly, but I think we've got a pretty good understanding of what we're trying to accomplish in those 4 series of offense. Defensively is always a work in progress. We're concentrating on our man-to-man, but we're also wanting to play up the floor a little bit more this year. We think we have the depth to do that. I like to do it early in the year, every year anyway, because it's a great conditioner, great to get your team set for the demands of the college game. But I think this year you're going to see it a little bit longer than you have in past years.
One thing I noticed on the roster this year, you've got some size across the board this year. And one player, I don't know what her contribution will be this year, but I did see Camille at a volleyball match this year. You guys have her leaned out looking really good.
Yeah, Cam's really worked at it, particularly since the summer months. She's really worked at it. So you're going to see a different player in Camille Buchanan. She, I think, now has the ability to be effective on the court. It's still not going to be for long periods of time, but you're going to see that she is much more committed to her fitness. In addition to Cam, Dulcie, Kiki, Lynetta, Lanice, you're going to, those are just 4 players that we mentioned that stand between 6'1" and 6'3" or 6'4". So that length and that size, that athleticism gives us an ability to be a different kind of team than we've been in the past couple of years.
I would say going into the season, just kind of getting a vibe, a very, very quiet confidence right now. I think expectations, maybe not getting a lot of the pub for that early in preseason rankings and everything, but I think a kind of a quiet confidence this year.
We're not going to talk a lot about what we want to do. We're going to just go to work and do it. I think with 8 new people, we've got to figure out how everybody fits in. But I also want our players to recognize that we haven't done anything yet. We could talk about it, but we're going to choose not to, because we've got to go to work every day in the gym and show what we can do, not talk about it.
What do you see out of the CBU club tomorrow? What do you look to get out of an exhibition game?
They've got a brand new coach.
Yeah.
They've only got 1 returner that played significant minutes. I'm going to expect that we're going to see quite a bit of zone, which is typically what happens to us in our exhibition games. I'm going to hope this year with players like Madison Griggs, and who's a definite shooter, Jamira Schutz, who's improved her shooting, Rudy's improved her shooting, Julianne, who we haven't seen a lot in our practice sessions because she's got a nagging injury, but she was full going practice the last couple days. So I'm going to hope that zone doesn't knock us off like it has in some years, because I think we're going to have a better chance to have shooters.
Always a fun schedule leading up to a very tough American Conference.
Absolutely. Obviously, Arkansas, Little Rock, Toledo, those are GW, those are just really great quality teams Then we're going to go to the Bahamas and get a look at Kansas State, and then either LSU or
another big school. I've seen that schedule.
Michigan State. Sorry, Michigan State. I dropped it there for a minute mentally. But we've got a really tough schedule, and what we hope is that. I hope not to get our ears pinned back, to use an old term, but if we do, hopefully it gets our attention and helps us get ready for what's going to be a great non-conference schedule and also a great conference schedule.
What do you see quickly out of the American this year? It's been pretty strong lately. What do you see out of it?
Well, this year, unlike last year, we've got a lot of returning veterans, a lot of good teams that had good players last year. I think you're going to see the same teams at the very top of the standings. I think UCF got some positives for them. Katie's proven that she can build a system even though they lost quite a bit. They returned the co-conference player of the year in KK Wright. Obviously, we know UConn's going to be there. I think USF may have gotten slighted just a little bit because people have forgotten those injured players last year are back. And one player that we really didn't see, which was a very high-powered European player. We're going to hope that we can be in the mix with some of those teams. We've got a lot to prove in order to be there, but I think we've got more raw talent and more depth than we've had in a while to show.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks, Jeff.
Head Coach Melissa McFerrin, I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.